Hey guys, this is MA Fish Guy doing a video on the Dwarf Gourami. Now this can include quite a few different types, from the flame, powder blues, honey dwarf, and the sunsets. There's many other ones out there, but these are the most popular ones that you're going to see in the aquarium hobby today. So the typical lifespan on these guys is usually around 4 years, depending on the species that you buy, and depending on how long they've been in the pet stores. Now, one thing to keep in mind in the pet store is usually the males are the ones that are stocked, because they're going to be a little bit more brighter in color and they do sell better compared to the females, because most of these guys for females are going to be more of a drab color, and even some of your ones like your powder blues are more of a silver, so they're not as pretty as the boys. Temperature for these guys is really easy. It's 70 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. They can pretty much take a tolerance of many different fluctuations, as long as they're not drastic. So if you want to keep it at 70, that's fine. If you want to keep it all the way up to 82, that's fine as well. But just nothing major changes, because these guys can be a little skittish and a little sensitive, more so than other fish out there. And you'll see that when you get a couple, you may lose one or two, and it's pretty much normal for a lot of people, just because they are more of a sensitive fish and they become skittish and they don't eat as well, and they do require a more planted tank than most of your other fish out there. So for diet, these guys aren't really too picky. They'll eat frozen, freeze-dried flakes, pellets, pretty much anything once they get established to the tank. And that tank should be at least a 20-gallon tank minimum. That way they have enough room to basically feel secure in their tank. And you want to make sure there's not a lot of noises around the tank, because they do, like I said, become skittish and get a little bit more afraid than your usual fish and does in an aquarium. So you want to make sure that you're not putting this tank in a high traffic area that is going to have a lot of noise, a lot of kids running by, barking dogs, a lot of dogs near, or anything like that. So like I said, these guys are real nice fish. They're available at most pet stores, and when it comes to breeding, they're a lot like a beta. Now, with a lot of these guys, like I said, the males are more of a vibrant color, so you're going to be able to pick those guys up relatively easy. And most of the time, if you have them alone, they're going to be building a bubble nest. And if you want them to kind of help entice them, there's a couple different methods you can use to help entice them to build that bubble nest. You can put a couple different females in with the Dwarf Gourami, the male, and hopefully to impress them, he'll build it. But when it comes to building a bubble nest, they do need some things in the tank to help construct it and to kind of help keep it all in the area contained to one spot. Now, some will build it without any of this and will just build it in a corner of a tank and maintain it, and they're pretty much the pimp daddy of building a bubble nest. But other ones need something to keep it all in the same area, and you can use a couple different things, like a floating cup. Like if you take a styrofoam cup and you cut it down and just basically float it over, kind of so it's curved just like this, and they're going to build the bubble nest right up inside of it. Another thing you can do is get a whole bunch of floating plants, and that's a pretty good way to do it, because in nature their bubble nest is constructed of different plant material that has fallen down into the waterbed itself. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. And like I said, with sexing them, the males are more colorful. The dorsal fin on top is going to be pointed and usually extends to where the tail fin is. Now the female is going to be more of a rounded tail, and it's going to be a little bit more of a drab color to them, so it's definitely kind of something real easy to see. So I hope this helps you kind of help breeding these guys. And one last thing, the eggs usually hatch after the male has built the bubble nest, lured the female into the nest, and bred. The eggs usually hatch within 12 to 24 hours. Now usually within 3 to 5 days, they're still in the bubble nest and will start to emerge, and that's when they'll start eating some of the smaller types of food that you'll have to feed them, because these guys are real small. They're not like some of your normal fish out there that are a little bit bigger and they're able to eat some of the like the baby Ryan shrimp. Well, these guys are going to need some of the smallest organisms that you can feed them to get them to basically flourish and grow up for a high survival rate. So I hope this helps you. If you're looking for any care information on the Dwarf Gouramis, or you're looking at any breeding information, or just overall wondering what the heck they are. But what is nice is they actually do have an organ in them that helps them basically breathe oxygen from the surface of the water. So that is another cool feature about these guys as well, similar to the beta. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or any recommendations or any fish videos you'd like to see, post it down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this video. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for watching.